I wanted to go through some of the stuff that we had on our study guide. It's getting you ready for the test. I'm not going to go through any of the absolute value stuff, but I wanted to go through some of the other types of problems that we haven't seen as much. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with this one. It says, which compound inequality represents the graph? Now, if you look at the graph, it's a number line. You've got an empty circle, and that goes off to the left, so that means less than -1. And then you got another empty circle that goes off to the right. Now remember, the empty circles mean you don't have an equal to sign below it. This is just less than or greater than. In this case, you're going to look for the ones that say or, because it can't be both. It's got to be less than -1 or greater than 2 according to this graph. There's nothing that goes in between there, so it can't be both. It doesn't cover both. So that one would be out. So we're looking at something that says m would be less than -1 or greater than +2. So that would be our option. That would be our answer. Didn't know that there was all these power-up things on there. Sorry. We'll just, yeah. Let's go to next. Function or not a function? This is the vertical line test. If you can draw a vertical line and cross this graph more than one time, then it's not a function. Because the function, every x value only has one y value. So if I had this x value, which would be 2, looks like I got a y value here and a y value there. So it's not going to be a function. It doesn't pass the vertical line test. Alright, so function or not a function here. This one does pass the vertical line test. Just straight up vertical lines. You cannot cross the graph more than one time. So it's going to be a function. What's the range? Now, when you get this is a mapping of numbers. The numbers on the left are always the x, and the numbers on the right are always the y. So in this case, the range will be the 0, the 4, and the 7. And you want to put those in order. So that's why that would be different. It says 7, 4, 0. You want to put those in numerical order, so it'd be 0, 4, 7. I don't know what that would be. What's the range here? We're going to start at the 0. Remember, the y or the x-axis doesn't really matter where you're at. We're going up and down. We're at 0, and we're going up. And it looks like it's going to keep going all the way to infinity, because it doesn't actually level off or anything. It's got an arrow. So y would be greater than or equal to 0, because you're talking about your y values. Starts at 0 and goes up, so it's greater than or equal to 0. This one, what's the range? Again, it's the range of all your y values. The lowest y value is at -8. It's filled in dot, so you'll have the equal sign with it. So it's greater than or equal to -8. It goes all the way up to +2, and it stops. Again, you have the equal signs because they were filled in dots. Is the relation a function? Remember, these are x's, these are y's. Every x value can only have one y value, but on this 11 you've got a 5 and an 8 connected to it, so no, it's not going to be a function. No, because the x value 11 has 2 values paired with it. That would be my answer. What is the range of the following relation? Remember, range is all your y values again. So I've got -2, 3, 10, and 8, but they got to go in order. -2, 3, 8, 10. That's right. That's all there is to it. Put them in the braces and just list them. For the function, that gives me all these points. Write the domain and the range. Domain's all your x's, 0, 1, 2, -4. So it'd start with -4. That's the only one I know that's the answer, but it's -4, 0, 1, 2. It lists all your x values. The range, same thing. I got 1, -3, -4, and another 1. You only count the 1 one time. So I've got -4, -3, -1 would be the order. -4, -3, and then I meant +1. I said negative, but I meant positive. But that lists all the y values for your range. No idea. Solve the absolute value, inequality, and graph. Now this one still has an absolute value on there, but it's got the graphing part, so we'll go ahead and we'll look at it. Can't really show you the math, so we'll just talk it out. This would say we would break this up into two different problems. It'd be 4m minus 4 equal or is less than 36, and then 4m minus 4 would be greater than -36, because remember when you do the negative version or the opposite of this sign, you change that sign as well. So we change signs, we flip it all around. So let's do the positive version first. We'll have 4m, we have to add the 4 on each side, so we'll end up with 4m is less than 40 divided by 4, m is less than 10. So that's what you're getting there with the m less than 10 there. Heck, it's good. That's easy. It's going to be A. That's the only one that's got m less than 10. The other one's got equal signs with them. You're never going to just have another equal sign. So I know my answer is A at this point. But let's go ahead and explain the rest of it. 4m minus 4, you would have to add 4 to a -36 and make it -32. Because remember, I'm talking about the negative version now. So you have 4m is greater than -32. When you divide by 4, m ends up being greater than -8. So it is, like I said, A. It's -8 is less than m, which is less than 10. This is what it looks like on a graph. This is the main reason we're doing this part. This is the graph. You've got an empty circle here and another empty circle there. It goes from -8 up to 10. It's filled in. Everything between it. So that would be what that would look like. We can still talk about these number lines even though these are wrong answers. This would say m is greater than 10. And that's what you have here. Empty circle going off to the right means greater than 10. There's no equal sign, so it's empty. This would be less than 8 or -8. Empty circle goes off to the left. Less than -8. We've got, just like it says here, -3. So it would be m is greater than -3, but less than 10. And they have equal signs with them, so they're filled in dots. And then on this one, see, all the number lines work out for their options. They're just not the right answers except for A. So on this one, I have m is less than or equal to -10 is represented here, or -3, I should say. And over here, m is greater than or equal to +10, so it goes off to the right. Hope that helped a little bit, clear some things up for you. All right, identify the domain of the relation. X values are up here. G of x is the same as the y value, so these are all part of your range. The domain is just the list of all these numbers here. So -6, 0, 2, and 4. And that's all there is to it.